lovely song from the late 60s from James Taylor. Now, it's not a difficult song. You can already hear a but coming here. The structure is fairly simple. There's the intro I just played, there's a repeating chorus, there's a repeating verse, and then there's an extended bridge section, which is something like 20 bars, and then there's a coda which extends the chorus, the final chorus, into an outro. That's not the problem. The chords themselves are also quite straightforward. There are lots of them, but they're all fairly easy to play. It's just the pace at which the song goes and how quickly those chords come at you. There are extended sequences where we have 2 chords per bar, so it's going to be a question of repeating those, practicing them, and just memorizing what happens where. I'm going to grind through these chord shapes, capo on the 2nd fret before I forget. Just going to call out these chord shapes in the order that they come to begin with. That's not going to be very interesting, but it needs to be done. And then we'll have a look at a couple of picking suggestions, a couple of generic picking patterns that you can place under all of these chords, a couple of different approaches maybe. And then we'll round it off by zooming in on a couple of bars. I've got 3, I think, different sections that I've tabbed out precisely from the original recording, just to give you an idea of exactly what he does to achieve his sound in terms of the picking hammer-ons and slides and that kind of stuff. I've also done Fire and Rain. I've done his version of Carole King's You've Got a Friend, Sweet Baby James, Bartender's Blues now, so this will be my 5th, I think, James Taylor song. Particularly in Fire and Rain and You've Got a Friend, I go into some detail there to look at the sort of things that he does to achieve the very James Taylor-y sound that he gets. So take a look at those. But for now, let's just get through the chords and then we'll have a playthrough of the song. We'll look at the intro in more detail when we take a look at the picking, but for now, let's just get through the chorus. 16 bars. The first line is different in the first chorus from the 2nd and 3rd chorus, but it's like this. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. The 2nd bar goes from G to D over F sharp. I'm playing D over F sharp like this with my 2nd finger down on the 2nd fret of the bottom string. You could do it this way, D as normal, and then wrap the thumb round to create the F sharp in the bass. Either way. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. That's how it works the first time round. In the next versions of the chorus, it always does this. In my mind, I'm going G to E minor 7 straight away, and then it's 2 bars of A7. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. That's just how it is. I don't know why it's different the first time, and obviously you don't have to play it that way differently each time, but that's how it is. Okay, it carries on like this. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? This is the same every time now. The E minor 7, I'm using my 2nd finger and my little finger up on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. That note is going to fall to that note, a C sharp, on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. It's a leading note and it's quite nice to bring that out. Can't you just see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? And now we reach our sequence of 2 chords per bar with a descending bass line. Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? So your thumb's gonna have its work cut out there, and the chords are like this. It's D, ain't it just like, I'm swinging my little finger over to the 4th fret of the 5th string for the D over C sharp, B minor. Then I'm bringing my barring finger up to expose the open 5th string for the B minor over A, G, D over F sharp, I'm calling that, E7 to A7. Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? And when we pick, you'll see. You want that kind of thing, just really bringing that bass line out. And we finish with this. Going to Carolina in my mind. Then he does one of his James Taylor-y things there. We'll look at that properly in a while. But the last 2 lines. Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Okay, that's it for the chorus. The verse carries on actually with the chord of D. Karen, she's... Then there's a bar of C, and I think he keeps a finger on the second fret, the third fret of the second string there to create like a C with a D in it, C add 9. You could play a straight C there. I'm not really sure, but I saw him doing this recently, and he definitely does that. Karen, she's a silver sun. Then we've got a bar of G and a bar of A7. Walk away and watch it shining. And now he does a really nice thing. The following chord is B minor. So he gets to it like this. He plays his A7, and then he puts a finger on the first fret of the 5th string. That makes that into a B flat diminished chord. So, Karen, she's a silver sun, you best walk away and watch it shining. You hear this in Joni Mitchell at this point as well. Watch her watch the morning come. And all that, we'll take a look at that. Okay, so that's D, C, G, A, over B flat diminished to B minor, a bar of G and 2 bars of A. Karen, she's a silver sun, you best walk away and watch it shining. Watch her watch the morning come. Now we carry on with a bar of G and a bar of D with F sharp in the bass. A silver tear appearing, now I'm... And again, we've got our 2 chords per bar. It's B minor, E7, cry and E7, A7 sus4, hey night, A7. And then we finish just like we finished the chorus. Going to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm gonna... And we're back into the next chorus. So that's that. We've had the chorus, we've had the verse. There's another section, and that is the bridge, which happens after the second verse. We get, going to Carolina in my mind, with a holy host of others standing around me. Apparently, Holy Host is a reference to the Beatles who were recording in the same studios at that time. With G, Holy Host, A7 of others standing around me. Very nice, staying on chord 6 for 2 bars. An interrupted cadence, chord 5 to chord 6. And if you listen to the original, there's a bit of this going on. He takes off the finger that's on the second string and hammers it back on. When we look at the picking, we might pick that up. Holy host of others standing around me. I just wanted to mention it now before I forget it. Then it's F sharp minor, just a single time that happens in this song. Still I'm on the dark side of the moon. So F sharp minor, E minor, G, A7. I said this bit wouldn't be very interesting. Now, we're nearly there with the bridge. And it seems like it goes on like this forever. 2 bars of D. You must forgive me, C to G, E minor 7 to A7. And this part in the original, he kind of controls the dynamic here. Everything just comes down a bit. You must forgive me if I'm up and again. Going to Carolina in my mind. It's really nice and very clever that he finishes the verse, chorus and the bridge exactly the same way. And of course that sets us up for the next version of the chorus. Well, that's all there is. I should mention the coda probably at this point. Okay, what happens is this. At the end of the chorus, the last time, ain't it just like a friend of mine? She hit me from behind. Yes, I'm... And instead of going to Carolina in my mind, we get this instead. Going to Carolina in my... There's an extra kind of 4 bars tacked on. So it's D, going to adding an F sharp in the bass. So effectively D lasts for a bar. Going to Carolina, G, just putting the brakes on here. G, back to D over F sharp. And then a whole bar of E minor 7, and then a whole bar of A7, well, it's A sus4 to A7. So, ain't it just like a friend of mine? to hit me from behind. Yeah, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Which takes us into the outro. And the outro is very much like the Ain't It Just Like a Friend of Mine. But when we get to the E7, this time it's E minor 7, and he plays that to fade. I'm going to play it, I think, 4 times in the backing track I've made. So it's going to be mine. Say nice things about me, 'cause I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone. And all that kind of stuff. So you just need to get that under your finger. So from the end of the chorus into the coda, into the outro. Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yeah, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Whoa. Okay, and that finishes out the song. As I say in the playthrough, I think I do that 4 times. So that's all there is. Let's look at the picking and then we'll have a playthrough of the song. So the intro is 4 bars long and I've tabbed it out and it's like this. And throughout you want to finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. I'm using my 3rd finger. I'm playing the G this way. This is a very James Taylor. I mean, not just James Taylor, but this is how he often plays his G. It gives him a brighter sound with that D up there rather than having a B. We kick off then with the hammer on onto the top string. Okay. 3 fingers on the top 3 strings. He actually plays the very last note on the 3rd string open in preparation for the G chord that follows. Never mind. And he's got a note on the 1st beat on the bottom string 3rd fret. We get the top string and then the 2nd string, and I think there's a bit of 3rd string added. Then we get down to G over F sharp with the same note on the 2nd string, but now with an F sharp at the bottom there. And again, those top 2 notes get played. Then we have the open 3rd string, alternating between the note on the 2nd string and the bottom string, and a similar thing for the A sus4. So the whole thing. Okay, and that kicks us off. Okay, a couple of general picking suggestions for the song. This pattern has your 3 picking fingers, the 1st, 2nd and 3rd fingers, up on the top 3 strings. So the 1st finger is going to be on the 3rd string, 2nd finger on the 2nd string, and the 3rd finger is going to be up on the top string. For a G chord, I start off with the thumb on the bottom string, because that's where the bass note is. Thumb, 1, 2, 3 in terms of fingers. In terms of strings, it's 6, 3, 2, 1, but thumb, 1, 2, 3. Now that lasts 2 beats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if you've got a chord that lasts for 2 beats only, that's fine, you're just going to play that much. If you've got a chord that lasts for 4 beats, you want something else to happen in the 2nd half of the bar, and we're going to do this. The thumb is now going to come up to the 4th string, and my fingers are going to be 1, 2, 1. Thumb, 1, 2, 3. Thumb, 1, 2, 1, with the thumb moving between the 6th and the 4th. This is the alternating bass note for G. Depending on the chord you're playing, for an E minor 7, for instance, you're going to be alternating between the 6th and the 5th. You just need to know these alternating bass notes, and I've got a video on that. But for G, thumb, 1, 2, 3, thumb, 1, 2, 1. And you can hear when I'm picking that top string with my 3rd finger, I'm giving it a bit of an accent. I mean, it already kind of stands out because it's the highest note, but with a little bit of a crisp accent there, it creates some nice syncopation, because that note's right before the middle of the bar. Otherwise, that stuff with the thumb just sounds a bit could sound a bit pedestrian. So it just sets off with a nice little accent there. Gives it a bit of flow. Same kind of thing on a D chord, for instance, where the alternating bass would be you're going from the open 4th string to the open 5th string. So on a D chord, thumb 1, 2, 3, thumb 1, 2, 1, with the thumb going from the 4 to the 5. As I say, have a look at the alternating bass video and you should see how that works for most of the chords. But that's a nice suggestion for most of the song. If you want a bit of variety, here's a very standard Travis picking pattern. And here I'm using my thumb again on the bass note, obviously, but now I'm limiting myself to 2 picking fingers. On the 3rd string for the 1st finger and 2nd string for the 2nd finger, and my thumb is going to alternate between 6 and 4 between the fingers. Okay, so the thumb on the 6th string, 2nd finger on the 2nd string, thumb up to the 4th string, and 1st finger on the 3rd string. It's my first pair, often called the outside pair, and then the inside pair. And again, you can look at accenting some of these to create some unexpected syncopation, which gives it a bit more flow and frankly a bit more interest. On a D chord, you're forced up onto the top 4 strings, because in Travis picking the thumb always comes up right next to the 1st finger for the 2nd pair. I say always, but that's the kind of template. So there we are, that's it for the D chord. That's how they work, and you can mix and match, and you'll have some hammer-ons and some slides and some passing bass notes and all sorts of other stuff, and you'll be surprised how authentic it's going to sound once you've got some flow to this. So practice it until it's a habit. Okay, now let's look more closely at some specific bars that I've transcribed just to give you an idea of what you can achieve here. To finish up then, let's just look at a couple of specific examples of what he does on the original recording. I'm sure he does it differently every time, but this will give you a bit of an insight anyway. And the first one I want to look at is the 4th bar of the opening chorus. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. He has this. I find that quite difficult to do, actually. Hammers on from the open 2nd string to the 2nd fret, as that finger ought to be, for an A chord. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. I was watching him the other day and I realised actually that James Taylor plays his A this way, with the 1st finger I think on the 2nd fret rather than this way round, or at least the fingers would be in this order, starting with the 1st finger down on this side, and he kind of plays it in reverse order, which is the way maybe he gets that kind of hammer on onto the 1st finger. Maybe that's easier. I would need to practice that, but I'm going to stick to doing it this way. And it's like this. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. That's the first one. And then let's look at the end of the chorus. Going to Carolina in my mind. Now what he does here, he's got 2 bars of D, and then the verse kicks off with another bar of D, so he needs a way to join them together, and he kind of treads water on a D chord. But it's quite nice. We have going to Carolina in my mind. Then there's another couple of notes which join on, they're really those last 2 notes, the open 5th string hammering on to the 2nd fret, belong to the following bar because it leads us into the next verse. But the little detail we've got is this. Hammer-ons on the top string, open to the 2nd fret. In real time, if I can. Going to Carolina in my mind. Karen, Jesus. There we are with that. And that's how that one works. Now the final one I want to look at is halfway through the verse. Let me just... Karen, she's a silver sun. You best walk away. Watch it shining. Watch the morning come. It's this. Again, maybe it's better if you've got your fingers the wrong way round. And again, this is a bit of a challenge. In the 6th 8, he hammers, he pulls off. It's really nice. And then he does it again before hammering on. I'm not sure I can play this accurately. Watch the morning come. Nailed it. That's the idea. Of course, you're free to do your own thing, but that's precisely what he does there. Hope that's of some use to somebody out there. Okay, let's have a playthrough of the song. 1, 2, 3, 4. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yeah, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Karen, she's a silver sun. You best walk away and watch it shining. Watch the morning come. Silver tear appearing, now I'm crying. Ain't I going to Carolina on my mind? Ain't no doubt in no one's mind that love's the finest thing around. Whisper something soft and kind. Hey babe, the sky's on fire, I'm dying. Ain't I going to Caroline in my mind? In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yeah, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Dark and silent late last night, I think I might have heard the highway call. Geese in flight and dogs that bite. Signs that might be omens say I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Oh, with a holy host of others standing around me. Still I'm on the dark side of the moon. And it seems like it goes on like this forever. You must forgive me if I'm up and going to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine? Hit me from behind. Yes, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Gone, I'm gone, I'm gone. Say nice things about me, 'cause I'm gone. And that's it.